Hello everybody, thanks for watching. Please subscribe and like my channel if you would. My kitty cat Goldie wanted to be part of the production today, apparently. He got right up here when he knew what I was going to do. Well, today I want to talk about the Civil Rights Division of the Department of Justice in Washington, D.C. Now, much to my chagrin, I found out that when all these lawyers they have in the Civil Rights Division, which I didn't think they'd have these kind of numbers, but the incoming boss of the Civil Rights Division told these hundreds of lawyers that they couldn't be racist, and supporting woke agendas and DEI agendas was both racist, and that they had to defend the rights of all Americans equally, and that putting boys in girls' locker rooms and a whole bunch of other things, having boys and girls sports, was violating the civil rights of those little girls and women, and that hiring people not on merit but on skin color or the language they spoke or something like that was also racist and discriminatory. And basically, if these guys couldn't support the constitutionally equally for all Americans, then basically they needed to hit the road. Well, over the first 7 or 8 months, 200 federal lawyers left their positions voluntarily. And apparently, from what I have been told, that's about 70% of the civil rights lawyers at the Civil Rights Division of the Department of Justice. Now, I don't know about you, but, having the better part of 300 civil rights attorneys operating from the Justice Department seems to be way overkill. Number one, that's a lot of lawyers, okay? That's what I'm trying to say about that's an extreme amount of lawyers for the federal government to have just on civil rights. Because it's not like here in the state of Michigan we have a Civil Rights Division too. I mean, come on. That in and of itself to me is a problem. I might, be able to see 50 or 60 civil rights lawyers, but how many civil rights cases are they taking on? And maybe more to the question, are they true civil rights attorneys? But an even bigger point to all this, they only had left-wing loon lawyers working apparently at the Department of Justice. Not civil rights attorneys for my civil rights. These were civil rights attorneys for LGBT community people, I'm guessing, and other people is what this was all about, as far as I can tell. And also, a large quantity of their cases that they had filed since Trump took over suddenly vanished because, you know, it appears to be a lot of them like trying to put men in girls' sports and put men in girls' bathrooms and put men in girls' locker rooms. A lot of the cases that they had and that they were trying at the federal court level appears to have been that type of civil rights. Not what guys like me would call civil rights. To me, if you're a minority like my wife or somebody else and you had some guy like me discriminating against somebody like my wife, yeah, that's civil rights, and yeah, I mean, I want that defended, absolutely. But apparently, that's not what the Biden civil rights DOJ was all about. They were about racist court cases, defending the woke, defending DEI. And I think a lot of them people, those left-wing loon lawyers at the Department of Justice, it appears to me as though they were just kowtowing to the left-wing loon agenda in federal court. And now that I look back at it, that might be why there were so many of those types of cases even making it to the Supreme Court, because there's actually been, in the last 4 years, a lot of cases that went to the Supreme Court on these issues. But apparently this Maureen Dillon, I think that's how you pronounce her last name, forgive me if I'm wrong, but it looks like that's how her name was not spelled traditionally. So I'm guessing on the first and last name, I don't have, other than researching this, I haven't heard anybody talk about her. I'll give her my praise. If they don't want to protect civil rights for every American, then they shouldn't be working for the Department of Justice. That's all I'm saying. Well, that's all I got for this one, guys. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.